From a cable TV actress to a royal duchess, Meghan Markle's rise to the top wasn't just fast, it was a calculated climb, allegedly. Love her or hate her, she mastered the art of networking and social climbing. But what's even more fascinating is how you can use some of her strategies to get ahead in your own life. Let's break it down. Now, I'm not gonna go all the way back to her Deal or No Deal days. Let's be real. Holding a briefcase on TV wasn't exactly life-changing. Oops. That was early in her career and Meghan was still figuring things out. So let's fast forward to where things really started to take shape. 2011, Toronto. At this point, she was Rachel Zane on Suits, a role that gave her visibility, but not clout. Enter Soho House, the exclusive members-only club and a networking gold mine for the elite. Meghan made a beeline for Marcus Anderson. Marcus is a well-connected director / consultant at Soho House, and she basically became a fixture in his circle, and for good reason. Through Marcus, Meghan met Misha Nonu, a designer who had connections to Prince Harry's inner circle, including his cousin Princess Eugenie. From there, Meghan expanded her network, cultivating friendships with key figures like Serena Williams, Eddie Redmayne, and even political figures like Sophie Trudeau. These connections were not accidental. Nay, they were intentional. For example, attending high-profile events hosted by Soho House gave Meghan opportunities to meet people like Olivia Buckingham, Violet von Westenholz, and these are people who are deeply embedded in the London social scene. Do you get where I'm going? By 2014, Meghan was not just an actress, she was seen as a humanitarian and an advocate, thanks to carefully curated appearances at charity events and even a speech at the UN. Now, that's a topic for another day. We're going to talk about how you can rebrand your whole life and basically change the way people perceive you and view you. So we're not going to go deeply into that, but here's where it gets really clever. As you can see, Meghan didn't wait for opportunities to come to her. She created them. She rebranded herself, strategically inserting herself into spaces where she'd meet the people who could open doors. Now, whether you see this as ambition or manipulation is truly up to you. But let's be honest, if you could make connections like this to land your dream job, wouldn't you? Now, here's how we can implement Meghan's strategies. I'm not going to put some bullet points on a screen and bore you whilst I'm talking. So I decided to show you, actually to build my 2025 vision board right in front of you. So I hope that this will be a source of inspiration whilst you're listening to some motivational, I don't even know what to call it. Just listen and watch and enjoy. Before we jump in, I want to welcome you to my channel, The Velvet Lens. This is my first video, and let me just say, I thought long and hard about starting this channel, but here we are, and it's going to be a fun little hub for like-minded people who appreciate ambition, influence, and luxury. If you're someone who believes in working hard, striving for more, and positioning yourself to achieve the life you deserve, you're in the right place. But if you think ambition is offensive, or if you're not into these kinds of conversations, this channel isn't for you. So to everyone else, welcome to The Velvet Lens. First of all, you have to be intentional with your network. Meghan didn't just show up at events and hope for the best. She identified who she needed to meet and positioned herself to make those connections. If you're job hunting, networking isn't about collecting business cards or sending generic LinkedIn requests. It's about meaningful, strategic connections. For example, if you want a job in marketing, don't just apply for positions blindly. Instead, identify professionals at your dream company, follow them on LinkedIn, and interact with their posts. Share thoughtful comments that demonstrate your expertise, and over time, when you send a connection request or ask for advice, they'll recognize your name. I know it's not easy, but you need to put in the effort to see the fruits of your labor. Networking, or social climbing, whatever you want to call it, is about building meaningful connections and not just collecting contacts. The idea isn't to force every relationship into a single category, but to recognize the value each connection brings to your life. Whether it's someone who shares a hobby, a work mentor, or a professional acquaintance, each relationship can serve a unique purpose without needing to fit every aspect of your life. For example, you might meet someone at a Pilates class and connect over a shared interest, but that doesn't mean they need to become your career mentor. Similarly, a coworker or mentor doesn't have to be your best friend to offer valuable advice or a connection. So the first step is to lead with value. The first step in networking is to focus on how you can add value to others. This might seem daunting at first, but it's really about showcasing the most interesting or valuable parts of yourself that align with that specific situation. For example, at a career fair or professional event, instead of introducing yourself solely by your job title, highlight an engaging project or skill you're passionate about. For instance, instead of saying, "I'm a computer scientist," try, "I recently developed an app that streamlines communication for a remote team." Something along those lines. This sparks curiosity and opens the door for a future conversation. The second tip I want to give you is to reframe yourself based on context. Networking is not about being inauthentic, it's about tailoring your introduction to fit the situation. You don't need to lead with irrelevant details in settings where they don't resonate. For example, at a creative event, mentioning your interests in photography or your recent design project might make more sense than focusing on your 9-to-5 corporate role. Think of it as emphasizing the parts of yourself that will connect with the people in that specific room. The third tip I want to give you is to nurture relationships. Making a connection is just the first step, but keeping it alive is what truly matters. A simple follow-up message can make all the difference in leaving a lasting impression. A practical tip would be, after meeting someone, send a short thank you message. It's a small gesture that leaves a lasting positive impression. The fourth tip I want to give you is for you to become the connector. Hosting events or introducing people to each other is a great way to expand your own network while strengthening your own connections. So being the person who brings others together adds immense value to your relationships. This not only broadens your network, but also makes you the centerpiece of a dynamic group, giving you the chance to meet people from various walks of life. Networking is not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about presenting the best parts of yourself that align with the situation and being intentional about maintaining those relationships. Whether you're making connections through shared hobbies, professional events, or online communities, the key is to approach each interaction with authenticity, gratitude, and a long-term mindset. But here's the thing. Networking and positioning yourself doesn't mean being fake or manipulative. Because here's the truth. Success, influence, and ambition aren't random. No. They're built step by step, connection by connection, and Meghan Markle mastered this game, and so can you. Now, Meghan climbed fast, and some would argue, she burned as many bridges as she built. We'll save that for another video, but for now, let's focus on what works and how you can apply it. But until then, stay ambitious, stay intentional, and don't forget, the view is always better through the velvet lens. And if you found something in my vision board that you can relate to, please let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.